Hello everybody, welcome to Stampin' by Hannah live here on Facebook. Thank you ever so much for joining me this morning. I have a massive amount to share with you today, so I thought I would get straight on. Rather than looking at my face like normal, we're straight into crafting, because I went to a team training event a couple of weeks ago and I've shared the cards that I took with me. So I took this Christmas card and I took, where's it gone? This card with me as swap cards, and I thought I would just quickly share with you the cards I received when I swapped these. So swapping is something that we do as Stampin' Up demonstrators when we get together, and this time we decided we'd swap on a theme. So I had to make 6 of these and 5 of those to swap with ladies in the team. So let's go for the Christmas cards first, and I have left them in the packet so I can share with you exactly who made them. So this was just a Christmas card. That's all we had to make, was a Christmas card, and that was mine, and the video tutorial for that one went onto my YouTube on Monday, I think. And I got these fabulous cards in return, and I don't know who made that one, I'm really sorry, but it's lovely, and it's using the Carols of Christmas bundle, which is great. This one, which is awfully sparkly, is made by Tara Fowler, and that's lovely with those fun sweaters on. This is absolutely beautiful, and I'm going to have to take it out of the packet. This is by Carol Donnelly. If I take it out of the packet and share with you how absolutely gorgeously sparkly that is. It's beautiful, and this is the Hearts Come Home bundle, and then the Carols of Christmas to do the sky. That's lovely. This one is Lyndon Nash, and I love the use of the letters there, the large letters dies, and I'm going to come on to this little chappy shortly. And the last Christmas card I got was from Julie Watson, and I love that. That's really, really vintagey fun, and a style that I don't do very often. So they were what I got in return for my Christmas swap. And then the other swap I took part in was a colour challenge. I am a big fan of a colour challenge, as you will all be well aware if you visit my blog on a regular basis. This colour challenge required us to use Island Indigo, Soft Sky, Flirty Flamingo and Whisper White, and I just love that card. I made and went on my YouTube channel a couple of weeks ago, and I made a couple of cards like this recently. But the cards I got in return are so varied, it's fantastic. So Nikki gave me this card, and this uses what we're calling the eclipse technique, where you do all your stamping and then you die cut out your words or whatever it is you're going to die cut, and you put them back in, but you put them back up on dimensional so they stand up. How fun is that? Then I have this fun card from Laura Hill, and that uses the Stampin' Up embossing paste. This one, which I think I don't have upside down, from Karen, and that's lovely. I love that embossing folder. This one here from my good friend Liz, and this is a spinner card, so if I took it out of the packet, the Mr. Snowman here will spin round. This one from Helen, and I sat with Helen on the day and we had such a laugh. We had a really, really good day, and I love that card, Helen. And this one from the lovely Michelle Last, that is just beautiful, and I wish I could remember what stamp set that is. Oh, Fabulous Flamingo and Stylized Birthday. How fun is that? Although, Michelle, if you watch this, you've used retired dots, dear. But never mind. I'll let you off. Can't say anything bad about Michelle. Bless her, she's absolutely lovely. So I have also got my coffee, because I've had a bit of a morning this morning. And my plan was to get up really early and get started and all the rest of it, be really organised, and it all went to pot, and then I couldn't get my arm that your microphone is sat on set up at all, so my husband had to come in and I was in a bit of a panic. So I'm really pleased that I've actually managed to get on live at the right time. Shall we get crafting? Because I have a fun Christmas card for you using the Carols of Christmas stamp set. I am loving this one, and that is the card that we're going to make first. So there are a few products on this one, I have to admit. So I have got the Carols of Christmas bundle. No, I haven't. I've got the Carols of Christmas stamp set. And I've got 2 sets of shape dies. Now, these are absolute must-haves for me in my craft room. There are the stitched shapes framelets that have circles, squares and ovals in. And then the coordinating layered squares dies. And these ones create scallops and straight edges. And I love those. But these stitched are just beautiful. So, as you can see, I've got the stitched shape for the sentiment, and then I have a scallop and then a piece of our beautiful new champagne foil, which I will now drop, which is absolutely lovely and very, very shiny, and I don't want you to see the rest of my craft room, so I'm not going to move it around too much, because as always I'm in an absolute mess. So really, really quick and easy card, this one, and I know that you could really easily mass produce this and make lots and lots and lots of them, because that's the thing with Christmas cards, isn't it? That we don't make one Christmas card, we make lots of Christmas cards. So if you've got 50 people you've got to send a card to, you want something quick and easy that you can replicate 50 times over. So I have an old olive card base and old olive ink. And this is the little, like, holly sprig stamp. And I'm going to randomly stamp across my card base. Now, random stamping is something I know that people really, really struggle with. And it's really easy. All you need to do is rotate your stamp and rotate your cardstock so that you haven't got images that are all in a line together. And it doesn't matter that it looks messy, because once you've got it all put together, it looks fine. It also doesn't matter with something like this if you've made a bit of a boo-boo. Can I show you this? You see that there? That's where I managed to stamp twice. But you can't tell. It doesn't look bad once I've put the rest of the card together. So there is my card base. Then I have got my 3 squares. So I've got my piece of champagne foil that I have die cut with one of the layering square framelets, and a piece of real red, that scallop square, that is going to sit just on the top there, so it's a bit smaller. And then I've got one of the stitched squares that I have die cut out of very vanilla cardstock. Now, if I wasn't on video, I would have stamped and then die cut, but my Big Shot machine doesn't fit very well on this desk. And so I've just made the decision that I will do all the die cutting first. So I've stamped that on there, and I have managed to make it fit, which is a bit of a miracle. So I'm going to close that ink pad up, because I don't know about you, but I'm one of those messy stampers that will, if I leave it, my elbow will go in it and I'll get ink all over. So fast fuse for the back of my champagne foil, and my fast fuse is not very happy. I might have to grab another one out actually. So fast fuse, champagne foil on there, and then I'm going to grab some dimensionals. So I want 3 for the back of my sentiment and 3 on the back of that scallop. I am a big believer in odd numbers of dimensionals. I don't do even numbers very well at all. So we're going to pop that scallop square onto our champagne foil, and then we're going to pop our sentiment up on top of that, just like that. And then just as a finishing touch, I have got some of the enamel dots. Now these come in a big pack of all of the colour families. So you've got 1 pack of brights, 1 pack of regals, 1 pack of subtles, etc. And these are the real red ones, so these have come out of the brights pack. And I've put stars on this one. I'm going to go for dots this time. So 1, 2, and the 3rd one. And I tend to do these things like this, embellishments like that in trios as well, just because 3 is pleasant and pleasing to the eye, and that is my really quick and easy Carols of Christmas Christmas card. How fun and quick and simple was that? Now I do have my Christmas card club, which is still running. It is something that I normally kind of do a bit of a pre-order for, and then it closes. But this time, because this stamp set is so fabulous and I just want everybody to be able to get their hands on it, I've made the decision to keep my Christmas card club running through until probably the end of October. So if you want to make a whole load of Carols of Christmas cards, and I have a bit of a sneak peek for you here of all the cards that are in, you get 16 cards in this club, along with the Carols of Christmas bundle and a complete card kit to make all of these fabulous cards. Aren't they awesome? Some of them you will have already seen because some of them have been on my YouTube, and some of them are brand new. So if you want to take part in my Christmas card club, all you need to do is drop me an email, and my email is either in the down bar below, or if you're still watching this over on Facebook, it is in the description of this video. And I just love it. It's just so much fun. It's one of those stamp sets that you look at and go, oh well, it's not bad, and then you start to use it, and if you use it in conjunction with the dies that go with it, where are they? I've got them somewhere. This is one of those things that always happens. Card front, there they are. And these dies don't look like much either, but when you combine them together, you've got a night sky, you've got trees, you've got this guy who is just the cutest thing ever in the world, and he matches this dude it's just fantastic. So I will be popping a blog post over on my blog probably at the weekend for more about that one. But that's still something that's available for you. So next card, ooh, I've got a great big pile of stuff. Just a few things for this card, but it's not a complicated card. It's just that I've made it once and I'm not happy with it, so I'm making it a different way this time. I have got 4 ink pads for this one. I have got Blushing Bride, Flirty Flamingo, Crumb Cake and Chocolate Chip. And you've had a bit of a sneak peek there of the card that we're going to do. So that is my original, and we're going to step it up a little bit because it's very nice, but it's just not quite right. It's just, do you ever make a card and go, oh well, yeah, I like it, but, and I have to make a card for James's granny's birthday, which is coming up next week, and it's lovely, but it's just not quite good enough. So I'm going to make it again and see if I can make it better. So there are 2 stamp sets and a set of dies on this card, so there is quite a lot going on. I do apologise for that, but I love this stamp set. It's just so pretty. It is the Sweet Cupcake, and it just makes the most beautiful cupcakes, and I have got a bit of a cake obsession at the moment. Something is happening on my blog on Friday which you cannot miss, and you will then understand why I am a bit cake obsessed. And I've also got Playful Backgrounds, which is one of those stamp sets that you just have to have because it's just so handy. So shall we stamp our cupcake first, and I will show you exactly how this goes together. So you need at least 4 ink pads for this cupcake, because it is 2-step stamping, so it all layers up together. And I've got a piece of Whisper White, so I'm going to stamp first with my Blushing Bride. Now I have taken all of my pieces of stamp out of the stamp case first, because this is one of those stamp sets as well that requires too many blocks and more blocks than I have. So I grab the cupcake itself has, or the topping of the cupcake has a solid layer, a less solid layer, and then the detailed layer on the top. So, and I've also got a piece of scrap paper. I'm going to have my Blushing Bride first, and I'm going to ink that up, and I'm going to stamp it down there. Now, if you can't get a solid stamped image with this stamp set, which is always quite possible with photopolymer, it might be something that you want to consider about buying the, what we call it, Stampin' Pierce mat. just because it adds that little bit of cushion. I do have it handy, but it's I haven't needed it so far. So Blushing Bride again for the second layer, and then I'm going to close that up for a second. I will need that again in a moment, but then I'm going to take the most detailed one and stamp that in Flirty Flamingo. So just like that, and it's not laid up quite right, but that's absolutely fine, because once you die cut it, the die cutting kind of, it gives you a bit of wiggle room, really. There's an awful lot of problems that are solved by die cutting. So I've then got the base of the cupcake that I'm going to stamp in Crumb Cake. So I'm going to stamp that layer off as well and stamp that down. And then the second layer I'm also going to stamp in Crumb Cake. Now my stamp set has a bit of an issue in the fact that I end up with a little bit of ink here. So I'm just going to wipe that off my finger just to get rid of it. Otherwise you end up with a kind of blodgy mess. I don't know if that happens to anybody else, and if it does, just let me know, because I know that Stampin' Up would replace it. I just have never got round to doing it. So the top layer of our cupcake base is going to be in chocolate chip. I'm going to stamp that off as well because it's just a bit too dark. So there we have our stamped cupcake. Excuse my fat arms. And we just need to die cut that out. So the Sweet Cupcake stamp set comes, or has, a set of coordinating cupcake cutout framelits. They cut out the base and the top of the cupcake, as well as they have some words and some swirls and things. So I have already gone ahead and done that bit because my big shot is across the side of the room. And I'm going to just pull out everything else that I've got for this card. So I have got a card base in Blushing Bride with a strip that goes across that is 10.5 centimetres by 4 centimetres. I've got my 2 pieces of cupcake, and then I've got half a foil snowflake, which is this bit down here. But then I've also grabbed a piece of vellum, because you guys know what I'm like at the minute for vellum. I'm a little bit vellum obsessed. So let's finish our stamping, and then we're going to just step this card up a little bit. So Blushing Bride ink again, and I've got the Happy Birthday sentiment from the Sweet Cupcake stamp set, and I'm going to stamp the Happy Birthday down the right hand side of my card base. And I haven't stamped it quite enough on this version. I think that's one of the reasons why I don't like it, because it just doesn't say Happy Birthday quite enough. Granny really likes a birthday card, so if the more happy birthdays I can get on it, the better, I think. So there. And then I've got the kind of dotty stamp from the Playful Backgrounds, and I'm going to ink that up in Blushing Bride, and I'm going to stamp that across this strip that I've got. I think my ink pad could do with a re-ink, actually. It's just starting to look a little bit pale. It does happen every now and again. All Stampin' Up ink pads do have a coordinating re-inker. I think they're about £3 each, so I need to have a look, see if I've got the one for that, and if not, I need to grab hold of it, I think. So let's have a look at how we can step this up. So there is our kind of standard card. It's going to go together like that. Now I have got this piece of vellum, and I've also grabbed my favourite label punch, which is the Everyday label. I'm loving this, it's great. And I'm going to punch that out of vellum and knock the arm of my camera at the same time, and just to see if that little bit of vellum helps add something. Oh, it does. Right, I then need, let's see if I can rescue it there, some of the metallic silver thread, and I have got plenty of this. Ooh. So I'm going to grab quite a few, quite a bit. Now this stuff does tend to unravel, and so I keep a bit of washi tape on the top, and I stick the thread onto the washi tape so it doesn't kind of unravel and come off everywhere. So, and I also somewhere have some ribbon. I have the natural gold, what's it, natural trim in gold, that I'm just thinking I might, yes, let's do that. So I'm going to cut a length of that. This is the way that I craft. I'm going to get rid of that bit because that's my bit of scrap paper that's probably doing everybody's head in. So fast fuse. Fast fuse is my adhesive of choice, just because I know nothing's going to come off. Everything is going to be well stuck. I'm going to pop my bit of foil snowflake, and I've popped it onto the other side this time just to kind of spread it out a little bit. And I'm going to wrap this piece around with this piece of ribbon. Now, the way I do this might be different from the way everybody else does it. I don't know. But I always have a roll of sticky tape next to the side of my desk for this reason. So I've wrapped it round and I'm going to stick it down with some sticky tape so it doesn't kind of all come off and run away. Because me and ribbon don't go together particularly well. I don't know about anybody else. And then I'm going to pop it up on some dimensionals as well. Just like that. Odd numbers again, as always. What are you guys crafting at the moment? I have got a load of Christmas cards on the go, and I keep looking at wedding stationery as well, but obviously my wedding is done. I did that 2 years ago, but I would love to get back into making wedding stationery. I used to do it quite a bit, but I haven't done any in ages, and I'm missing it. So pop that on there like that. I'll pop my cupcake base down there as well, just on with some fast fuse, and then I'm going to grab my dimensionals again for the cupcake top. Nearly put the backs of my dimensionals in my coffee. Don't want to do that. That would be really a disaster. So, and then I think we just need a ribbon. Oh, I can tell you what I've missed. That bit of silver trim. This is real life crafting with me, guys. Actually, no, I don't apologise, because this is just what my craft room is like, and I'm sure your craft room is exactly the same. So I'm going to make some loops of silver thread, and I'm just going to wrap it around 3 fingers. I've got quite a lot of thread there. I'm going to carefully, really carefully, peel that back off. It's one of those things about our Stampin' Dimensionals that you can sometimes get away with just peeling them up. And, aha, yes, because that's stuck onto ribbon. So, bit of fast fuse on there. And then I'll stick that in there like that. I'll put some more fast fuse on the back of the vellum. There we go. That's better, isn't it? One disaster averted. And then I just want to tie a quick bow with some of this natural ribbon, just as a finishing touch. So the way that I tie kind of free bows, so when they're not attached to the card, create a loop, run it round and pull it through, and that way you can you've got a bit of wiggle room and a bit of time to mess about with it and make it look pretty. If you do, you can also create 2 loops and tie them in a knot, but that way doesn't work quite so well for me. So I'm going to just chop that off there, and I will grab a glue dot to stick that down like so. There we go. It's a bit wonky, but never mind. It's handmade, and I'm sure Granny will love it anyway. So that is my second card for today. And I do have one more for you, because I'm that generous that I could stand here and craft all day, because all I do when I stand here a lot and craft, because you are literally hovering over my craft desk. But anybody else talk to themselves while they craft? You could be sat there all day. Although you might then get my singing as well, and that might not be quite so pleasant. So, third card of the day uses my current favourite stamp set, which is Painted Harvest. And we're making that one. How much fun is this? Oh, it's beautiful. So we have got the Painted Harvest stamp set and this piece of Designer Series paper, which is from the coordinated Painted Autumn Designer Series paper pack. And then I've got a bit of the copper trim, some linen thread, and that's it. So let's grab all the bits of this card out of my little bit of plastic, because that's where I keep everything. When I'm prepping for things like this, I keep everything in a little plastic sleeve, cellophane bag that I do sell. Never sold, oh, knock you all over. Never sold any because I use them on myself, but hey. So, Painted Harvest. I'm going to grab the detailed one of the sunflowers and the little dots and the sentiment that says, "Your kindness means more than you will ever know." And I also need the detailed kind of fern leaf as well. So let's just get these on my blocks. I could do with some more blocks, really. That would help me with these Facebook Lives. That might have to go on my next order. I do have an order going in on the 30th of September. If anybody needs or wants anything, you are feel free to drop me an email if you're local, and you can place your order and then come and collect it directly from me. The way I tend to do it is I will then, once I've got the order that you want, I send you a PayPal invoice, and we once you've paid, I can place your order. So I have got that detailed sunflower stamp, and I have got Soft Sky ink, and I am just going to stamp this onto this pre-cut stitched oval. Then I've got Tangerine Tango ink, and I'm going to stamp across this with the little dots just to add some detail. And while I've got that ink out, I'm going to also grab my Tangerine Tango card base and that detailed fern stamp, and we're going to stamp all the way around the edge just to create a little bit more dimension and something just a little bit special. You could leave it blank, but I just like the look of something on the edges, like so. And then our last little bit of stamping is with Early Espresso and our sentiment stamp. So that lovely sentiment that says, "Your kindness means more to me than you will ever know," which is just lovely. I love the sentiments in this stamp set. They're really, they make great thank you cards, actually. So, last little bit of putting cards together today. I'll just move that off to one side. And this, we've got a piece of Soft Sky cardstock, and in theory you could layer them up like that, but it's just not quite dimensional enough. So I'm going to put that one on the bit of an angle, but I'm also going to do this as well. And I'm sure anybody watching is going, "Oh my goodness, what on earth are you doing?" I just want to break the fibres in this a little bit and give it just a little bit more dimension and movement on the front of my cards. So once I've done that, I'm going to add some more fast fuse to the back, because I am in love with fast fuse. And then, oh, I keep knocking this tripod today. I've then got some linen thread that we're going to wrap around this piece of Designer Series paper. So I'm going to wrap it around and tie a bow. Now I've got way too much linen thread. I've chopped a bit off, and then far too much. And I wish I could explain to you how I'm tying this bow, but I just can't. I still have, and I've been talking about this for weeks, I think. I'm sure I've mentioned it before, that I have a list of how-to videos. I do how-to videos on my YouTube channel on a Saturday. And I have a list at the moment of lots of how-to videos I want to film. And one of them is how to tie a pretty bow. Now, that's really difficult when I can't tie a pretty bow knot to save my life. So, and that's really baggy, but that's okay. So I'm going to turn that around. I'm going to grab my sellotape again because, like I said, that's how I stick all my ribbon down and stop it from moving about all over the place. So I'm just going to pull that in a little bit. Oh, there, and then fast fuse on the back of that one. Like that, and I'm going to pop that kind of the other way. And then some dimensionals on the back of my sentiment. And I've got a piece of the copper trim. Now this is lovely. And it looks like I've got a really long piece, but actually I'm going to pull it. So it's a woven ribbon that you can literally pull out. And it goes really, really wide. And it's so pretty, it's like a mesh. But obviously you need to cut a longer length if you're going to pull it, because you'll find that it kind of, the length shrinks as it gets wider. So I'll tease that out like so. There. I'm going to add a bit more fast fuse, and I'm going to just pop that into my fast fuse. Take the backs off my dimensionals and add my sentiment there. Now that is my third and final card for today. I will bring out the other cards. So we have made one with the fabulous Painted Harvest. We've got this one with the lovely Sweet Cupcake stamp set. And the first one we did using Carols of Christmas. Before I run away for today, I do have something else to tell you all about, and that is the Merry Patterns stamp set. I am in love with this. This is a fabulous photopolymer stamp set that is available limited availability during September and October. This stamp set is completely free for anybody who either hosts a party or places a really big order of £250 or more. But I do have a giveaway going over on my blog at the moment for you to get this completely for free. All you need to do is place an order of £45 and I will raffle this one off. Or if you aren't ordering, but you live in the UK, if you put a comment into the coordinating blog post that's over on my blog, StampinByHannah.co.uk, and you'll find out all the details there about how the other way you can get hold of this one. Thank you ever so much for joining me today on Facebook Live. If you are watching this on YouTube, I do these videos every few weeks on Facebook, and I would love to see you over there. Or when's my next date? I think I'm actually doing one next Thursday, and I can't remember what the date of that one is. Whatever the date next Thursday is, I will pop an event up on Facebook so you'll be able to see it. Thanks ever so much for joining me, and I will see you again really, really soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.